The execute command is by far the most important command in mcfunction. But sometimes it's hard to remember all the subcommands and their arguments, and you repeat similar commands. objD solves the repetition with the group. You can learn more about that up here. But there's also a more concrete solution with the Execute Widget. Like you can imagine, there's much to do, so let's get started. The basic execute constructor already has everything you need in one step. Here you can, for example, set the dimension to the dimension type the end. You can set the location with the location type, and you also find alignments here. Everything what you can find in an execute command, you can also find it in here. And with the power of Visual Studio Code, you get also these suggestions here and know exactly which arguments the execute command takes. You can read more about all the types in detail on my website. I will link you the execute document in the description. What's special with the execute widget is the children property, and objD automatically informs you that this property is required. So let's put the children down here, and let's just set a block here, block.stone, for the location of location.here. If we build our project, we can see this command here as result, and all our expected values are there. The execute widget has an inbuilt group and a for widget, which iterates through these children here, which are used to encapsulate the content in a separate file if needed. If we have minimum 3 children here, let's just log something here and we compile this. We can see on the left here, there is a new mcfunction called execute1, and here are all of our children. And this function is basically called with the group widget in main.mcfunction. And you can also disable this encapsulation by using the encapsulate value and setting this to false. And with the target file path and the target file name, you can change the default file location from the default objD location here. Most of the values of execute you saw a second ago also have a separate constructor. So you can use this here, for example, as a shortcut. Just use execute.as and input the entity. In the end, this would give the same result as the constructor method. And these single values here can also be stacked as methods. So you can see there are a lot of methods, and we can say, for example, rotate it again and input a rotation here with 0 and 90 degrees. And this would just apply the rotation to the execute command and add it as a subcommand. So down here we can see it runs it from our nearest player and it is rotated. And of course we can stack this even more and go from here on, because this method here actually returns the execute instance again. objD also adds some convenience actions here. With the add as, you can run a command as an entity at the same location, and the center method automatically aligns the execute position to the center of the block. So we can see the center method here, and this would automatically apply these values here. To get more information on widgets, visit stevatus.com/objD or take a look at the objD playlist here.